Hi, Peter. I'm going to try to answer your question around whether globalization represents a societal security threat because of its cultural impact. Perhaps we should start with globalization itself. What is it? Well, I think there's probably many definitions around, but we'll assume that it's the expansion of worldwide interconnectivity such that traditional nation state borders are softened to allow the broad exchange of people and commerce, culture, information, ideas, and other things. It might not be a perfect definition, but since I couldn't find any perfect agreement on what it represents, we'll have to standardize it for the purpose of this discussion. So, your question calls out the cultural impact of globalization, and I think maybe it's the least impactful area. Based on your reference to people resisting change to their beliefs, I think you may be suggesting that the introduction of new cultural experiences somehow pose an existential threat to, U.S. societal identity. It might be true if we assume that societal identity is fixed, but we all know that it's been changing ever since we were founded. And I think what's more important is to think about whether or not that change itself has really affected core identity. So in the United States, you could say we're a Western European Christian nation, but then it gets really murky fast. What Christian faith? Because Catholicism's on the rise. There's a dozen major Protestant faiths, and there's fundamentalism. Which European country? I mean, Great Britain's where we came from originally, but Italians and Germans make up more of an ethnic group than Great Britain's now. So I think it's fair to say that American cultural identity has changed significantly from that melting pot idea, which, by the way, wasn't meant to say we get a beautiful stew. It really was meant to say that you put everything in there and you melt it and you burn off the impurities, and now you got an American. So I think the text gets to that point. Rose summarizes, he says, societal security concerns the maintenance of collective identity. And I think the United States has gotten to the point where that collective identity means that religious and atheists and all the different ethnicities and gendered identities can get peaceful coexistence. So I don't think a little cultural exposure is going to affect American identity because it's just going to change it a little bit, and we're always going to move. It's never going to be perfect. American is this, other than American is means someone who can accept everybody and let everybody pursue their dreams. So that's the way I look at it. Thanks.